Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine and studying well at your home. So, if you remember, I already explained you the part 1 of lesson 6 from your book, First Flight, the 100 Dresses. I'll today explain the second part of it, that is, I'll start with the chapter, but it is part 2. Part 1 was already explained. So, I'll not revise the same now. You people are too grown up to revise the things again and again. And anyways, it is a very, very, very easy lesson. Fine. So, I'll start with the context. While the class was circling the room, if you remember, there was a drawing competition and there were so many beautiful pictures. Those pictures were displayed around the classroom, and the students, they were surprised to see that the paintings are so beautiful. And surprisingly, it was Wanda who had drawn such beautiful paintings, an introvert girl, a girl who was very shy, very timid. She was always bullied by her classmates, but still she came up with such beautiful paintings. Okay, so the class was circling the room. The monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note, the class teacher. So Miss Mason read the note several times and she was a bit thoughtful for a while. That means that she saw something which she never expected. Then she clapped her hands to draw the attention of the students. At times students go bizarre. So teachers have to either clap or they have to either beat the stick on the bench. They have to make a loud noise to grab or capture the attention of the students. She did the same and she asked all the students to get back to their seat, and she said that there is a letter from Wanda's father and she wanted to read it for them. So Miss Mason, she stood there for a moment and there was a kind of an expression on her face which gave an impression that she was a bit tensed. So she adjusted her glasses, that is spectacles, slowly, and her manner indicated, that is the expression on her face and the body language, that indicated that whatever was coming to her, I mean whatever was going on in her mind, that was a matter of great importance. So everybody paid attention and she started reading. Dear teacher, my Wanda, that is the father is writing about her daughter, shall not come to your school anymore. Now we are moving away to a big city, so they are leaving the town. No more holler Polak, no more ask why funny name, plenty of funny names in the big city. Now he is actually criticizing that my child Wanda was not happy in the school. No more ask why funny name. Why people used to tease her, her classmates used to tease her that what kind of a name is this. They used to bully her. So of course back at home she would be sharing all these things with her father, that why did you keep such an unusual name of mine. Although no parent, while they name their children, they have this thing in the back of the mind that their child will be bullied one day for a beautiful name that they had kept for their children. But of course the father was upset about this fact that throughout the tenure the child was in the school, she was being bullied by the classmates, and no one looked into this aspect. Actually no one looked because Wanda never complained about this. Maybe she was very timid or very submissive, okay, but still her paintings portrayed that she was a great artist. Plenty of funny names in the big city. So he's saying that people in the big city are callous, they are hard-hearted. They don't think about the emotions of other people. It means her father is hurt. Yours truly, Jan Petronsky. That's the name of the father. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Mason, she took off her glasses. She wiped it off with an handkerchief and she put it them again. So while she was speaking, she was very low. She was sounding very low because of course she was disappointed to know this truth. So she's addressing the class and she's saying that I'm very sure that none of you have done it purposely and intentionally, because I also know that yes, her name happened to be a long unfamiliar one. But please keep in mind that whenever you say something to anyone, you should be very thoughtful. You should never hurt anyone's feelings. It is very unfortunate and sad. Whatever has happened is very unfortunate and sad because Wanda is hurt and her father is immensely hurt. So, from the next time when you, and this is a lesson for life. At times, you people also come up with weird expressions. You say anything to anyone without keeping in mind. Sometimes you comment about someone's complexion, sometimes you comment on someone's height. You bully people. You come out with various names, Kalu, Natu. These all things should not be done. You never know. Maybe the person is not saying you that please don't tell me this, but maybe the person is getting hurt. The person is not saying you, maybe he's not in that state of mind, maybe he's submissive. He's already hurt because he's being called by this name. And then you are hurting him more. Day after day, he's getting more and more hurt. The repercussion of this can be at times very serious. So you need to think about it. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lesson, but she could not put her mind on a walk because back at the mind she knew that who used to bully her, who used to bully and tease Wanda. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. She was not feeling well because she knew that what they had done. So it is true that she never enjoyed listening to Peggy that whenever she was bullying Wanda, how many dresses you have, and she was always quiet. She never replied. She always stood there silently. She was a coward. Maddie now realized that she was a coward. She could have stopped Peggy, but she never did. She could put herself in Wanda's shoes. This is an idiom. When you put someone in other shoes means you are realizing the pain that a person had gone through. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? So now she is repenting. She is in a state of remorse कि उसने कुछ क्यों नहीं किया. She never wanted to hurt the feelings of Wanda, but she was a part of it. Maybe she never did it directly, but she was a part of that bully. So she turned around and stole a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up because Peggy seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, Maddie had to do something about it, and she now decided that she would find this person, Wanda Petronsky. Maybe they have not yet moved away, he has just informed, and she was assuming that maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her, that is, maybe they would reach to that place where they stay. And they wanted to inform Wanda that she had drawn beautiful paintings and she had won the contest, and of course they wanted to apologize, and they really thought that she was a very smart girl and all the 100 dresses which she had drawn were very beautiful. So when school got off in the afternoon, Peggy said that hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not. That is, they are talking about Wanda. So Peggy had the same idea that Maggie had thought of. Now the two girls, they came out of the school building and they started climbing the street towards Bogan High. That is the place where Wanda stayed. So well, they were moving over there, and she said, Peggy, while they were moving there, she said that I never did call her a foreigner or make her fun of her name. So now they are justifying their acts that I did not do this, I did not do that. And I never thought that I was making fun of her. I thought she was too dumb. Because I had a feeling that she was a dumb girl, but unexpectedly, look at the pictures that she had drawn. So she was amazed that, when we judge someone, actually we are wrong. Looking at the appearance of a person or the demeanor of a person, we cannot judge anyone. Maybe the person is introvert. Introvert is a person who does not like to mingle. A person who is not sociable is an introvert. So maybe I am very quiet. That does not mean I am dumb. That means I don't like socializing with people. Okay, so this is what she is saying. Maddie could say nothing. She only wanted to meet and find Wanda once because she wanted to apologize, and she wanted to say that please don't move away, you please come back to the school and everybody would be now nice to you. So yeah, she wanted to apologize for this, that they had not been nice to her. So the two girls hurried on, and they were, because they wanted to reach to the top of the hill before it got dark. Now they reached to a place and they said that this is the place, I hope here the Petronskys live. So Maggie pointed to a little white house, and they could see there were little grasses around, and the house and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. Of course, Wanda did not belong to a very affluent class, so her house could not look grand and magnificent. Okay, so it reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. So that is what. Maybe she did not have much dress to wear. She did not belong to a very well-off family. But whatever she wore, she was clean. Her uniform or her dress was always clean. A bit torn, or maybe you can say a bit crumpled, but it was always clean. There was not a sign of life about the house. It means air or the aura around the house gave an impression that there is no one inside. The house was abandoned or the people had already left the house. So Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. So they started looking around here and there. They knocked there was no answer, and there was no doubt about it that they had already left. How could they ever make amends? To amend is to change something. What about? Can they change anything for Wanda now? No, they cannot. Why? Because she had already left. Can they apologize? To whom will they? There's no one. So when you are judging someone, maybe it's too late to apologize. Maybe the person had left, or maybe the person has taken an action which was not expected. So well, anyway, she's gone now. So what can we do? And besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. So now Peggy is trying to justify her mean action. That actually, yeah, she has left. And I think that while I was bullying her and I was talking about all the different dresses and colors, she got the idea from me, and that is what she drew. And that is how she won. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head. For if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. So Maddie said that if this was the case, why did she leave school? But that night she could not get to sleep. Maddie could not go to sleep. She kept thinking about Wanda, her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in, and also all the pictures that she had drawn. They were just revolving around in her mind. So at last Maddie, she got up, she sat up in bed. She pressed her forehead tight in her hands as if she was really thoughtful. And this was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. That is, now if something of this sort happened, if she ever heard anybody bullying anyone or anybody coming up with name calling, she would stand for that person. I mean, now she has realized that you should not be a part of all these. Even if you are not directly hurting a person, don't even be a part of it. Yeah, it is true that she can no way apologize Wanda, but can she learn a lesson from this? She can learn a lesson from this, that from now onwards this is not going to happen. So on Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter wherein they were telling about the contest and telling Wanda that she had won. They told her that your drawings were very pretty, and they asked her that wherever you have gone, wherever the new town or the new city she is in, did she like her new teacher, and they wanted to apologize her. And this is how, on a friendly note, they ended up the letter. A letter that anyone would have written to a good friend, and they signed it with lots of love, and they mailed the letter to Boggin Heights, writing, "Please forward," on the envelope. So days passed and there was no answer. The letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had, this is what they were assuming. Maybe she had received it. But she was not replying because she was too hurt to answer. And she could not be blamed. Anyone being bullied for continuously such a long time would be hurt. So again and again those words, "How many dresses have you got?" This haunted Maddie. And she would cry out, "Stop." Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. So now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning, and surprisingly that letter was from Wanda Petronsky. So she said, "Do you remember her? The gifted little artist who won such beautiful drawing and she won the contest. Well, she has written me and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal." So finally her address is available and she is reading the letter. "Dear Miss Mason, how are you and room 13? Room 13 is the classroom. Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet." So again she is back with same enthusiasm through the means of a letter that okay, those beautiful paintings, those beautiful dresses can be kept by you because I again have new 100 dresses. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. For Christmas, I miss that school and my new teacher does not equalize with you. That is, my new teacher is not as good as you. That is Miss Mason. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. So on the way home back from school, Maddie and Peggy held the drawings very carefully. The drawings were given to her because Wanda had asked the teacher to do the same.
All the houses had wreaths. Wreath is the flower that you put in a circular form. This is how they decorate their houses during Christmas, as we do during Diwali. Okay, so outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy peppermint sticks and some shiny transparent paper were strung. This is all about the decoration. The air smelled like Christmas, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. The way she had written the letter and she asked to give me the drawing, this shows that she had forgiven us. So Maggie sadly said, I hope so. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little girl Wanda again, and she would never get a chance to apologize. So she went home and she pinned that drawing which was given to her. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors in the drawing. Maddie sat down on the bed and she looked at the drawing, and she now felt that Wanda was a nice girl. So tears started rolling down her cheeks. She kept gazing or looking at the picture for a long. Then she rubbed her eyes and she started studying. The colors in the dress were so vivid and so bright that the face of the girl was somewhere near her. She could assume. She wanted desperately to apologize. So Maddie, it really looked like her own mouth. Why it really looked like her own self. Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy. Peggy, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy, as they clattered up to the room where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. So like Maddie had pinned it up, Peggy was not so benevolent or sympathetic. She had just kept it on her bed. So she lifted the picture and then she said, she drew you, that's you. So now Maddie could realize that when she was drawing this picture, she was assuming that this dress is worn by Peggy, this dress is worn by Maddie. She must have really liked us. Yes, she must have, agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard. Sure, 100, she looking stolidly, that is looking very confidently over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. So now they were repenting. You know, sometimes it is too late to apologize. So at the first instance, don't bully. Don't come up with name calling. Don't judge people. You don't know what they are going through. Like if you see the recent case where in news we are only hearing about Sushant Singh Rajput. I am not into the debate where it is a murder or a suicide. I am not into this debate. But there are number of people who are going under depression, and then if you are name calling them, if you are bullying them, you are doing them all the more harm. You don't know what the person is going through. So by the time you mend things, maybe it's too late. So now they are realizing that, you know, she never hated us. She loved us. And that's the reason, look at the dresses. She assumed us while she was drawing. And then they remembered the line that she uttered, sure, 100 of them all lined up in my closet. That's all. You will answer the questions. And in the next video or the next lecture, I'll start with the next chapter. Thank you. Take care.